Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Ghostbusters Blackout is a cooperative game based on the Ghostbusters universe. And what you're going to get in this game is you're going to play with always 4 Ghostbusters, and you're going to be going around and busting ghosts. You're going to be doing so by rolling dice and sharing those dice and using those dice to move around the board and to trap these ghosts. And it's a very cooperative experience. First thing I should note is that the artwork in this is based off some kind of comic strip, and it looks amazing. It's a really, really good looking game. All of the ghosts are unique. All the Ghostbusters are unique. You won't ever see 2 ghosts pop up that are the same. And that's a great, great touch of this game because there are a lot of ghosts in them. And they all have different powers and perform differently. So that's a first thing. Now, there are more than just your classic 4 Ghostbusters. You're going to have female ghosts in here, Ghostbusters also. I assume they're from the comics or some kind of cartoon, and they work brilliantly. So they didn't just go lazy on you and give you 4. I think you have 8 to 10 Ghostbusters in the game. So all with different powers, you can mix and match as you're going, and that's a huge plus for this game because it gives it the variability that you're going to be looking for. The game itself is pretty much in the pandemic realm where something bad is going to happen to the board, and then you're going to try to put out the fires while accomplishing goals at the same time. In this regard, you're trying to get a number of ghosts trapped before the chaos tracker of the city goes all the way to its completion. And that's kind of what you're balancing off. And some of the dice you roll will push that chaos tracker back, but the ghosts are constantly adding to that. So you're going to need to spread out, and you need to bust the ghost while managing that tracker and capturing the ghost at the same time for your victory condition. I love this game. From the items you can get that shake things up, from the unique powers of the Ghostbusters to the ghosts themselves having unique powers, everything is very easy to manage. That sounds like a lot, but it's not. You might only have 1 or 2 or no items. You know, Spangler, Egon might have more items than somebody else because it's cheaper for him to buy them, which thematically makes sense. You're going to be moving around, you're going to be sharing the dice, and you really need to talk about what's the plan this round? What are we going to do? I love that in a cooperative game. That's what I'm looking for in a cooperative game. And this is one of my light, like 60-minute or less, light, family weight cooperative games, one of my favorites. This is one of my go-to games. If we have a little bit of time, we're done being competitive, we want to be cooperative, I'll grab this off. Everybody likes the Ghostbusters IP, and it works wonderfully. For some reason, this one flew under the radar. I'm not really sure if it's because of who released it or just didn't get a lot of publicity or whatever, but I find this game to be a lot of fun. Is it innovative? Probably not. But the IP works great with the mechanisms, and it's one I can easily recommend and tell you to go back and track this game down. This is one that you have missed. Keeper for us, and I won't be getting rid of this game. Here's Ghostbusters Blackout by IDW Games. You can see it's 1 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes, and 12 plus. When you open up, you're going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. And you're going to get everything kind of neatly packed in here with a semi-custom insert that you can see in here. So let's take everything aside and we'll take a look at the components. So here is the board. It's almost a perfect size for the number of players you're going to have. You're going to have a chaos track over here, the number of ghosts that you'll be getting here. You have the different burrows. You can see lines where you can move and places to put the cards. Now the game, one of the strengths of the game is going to come with a lot of Ghostbusters. They really went above and beyond to put the Ghostbusters in the game. You're going to have Peter Venkman, Melanie Ortiz, Winston Zedmore, Egon Spangler, Ray Stantz, Kylie Griffin, Janine Malintz, Ron Alexander, and those will be the ones you have. Each player is going to have a unique power down here and a player aid over here to show you what each of the dice can do if you're wanting to play through. The dice are going to come, they're all going to be the same. They're custom dice, but they're going to come in different colors depending on the player powers. There'll be standees that you'll get. No miniatures can be found here. And you're going to get a bunch of cards. There's 2 types of cards. There's going to be ghost cards, and there'll be equipment cards. The equipment cards are pretty easy. You're going to see they're going to have a cost and then a power they're going to have at the bottom. As for the ghost, they'll have a picture of the ghost, what icons will be required, and their power will be at the bottom. The ghosts do not repeat, so each card has a unique ghost on it, which is really nice when you're out there busting ghosts. Components are good. You're going to have a nice little insert in here. You have a few extra tokens that will be used for various things as you're going through, but everything is top quality here. Here is the rule book for Ghostbusters Blackout. You can see a picture of all of the components over there. Everything can be easily put out. You're going to have a goal and your setup with a picture of it, and there are numbers corresponding to everything as you go. Then you're going to jump into the gameplay. You can see there's a lot of artwork and pictures in here. Kind of spreads it out and organizes a little bit better, so everything you can easily see what's going on here. And as you can go through the equipment, the possession, and if you want to have the conflicting rules in easy and hard mode here, and then a little bit of a quick reference on the back. I found this rule book to be great. The pictures are right where they need to be to make things, I mean, this could have been bigger on the back if I'm not the best of example, but it's nice that this is here so you can easily see all the dice that's going to be set up, etc. Organized very well. Once we went through it and played, we didn't have any problems whatsoever. So this is what the game will look like set up. You're going to have your 4 equipment cards out. You're going to have your ghost deck shuffled and 1 ghost in each location. You'll put your starting people out right here in this burrow. You're going to have your dice assigned to it. You're going to have your trap down here. If you ever get all 15 ghosts trapped, you'll win the game. You have your chaos on 1. If it ever gets to 20, you will lose the game. Now it is important to note that you always have to play with 4 Ghostbusters in order to make the game work. The first thing you do each turn is if there's any of these spots that are empty, you will put a ghost back out in the spot. So the first thing you do is, on a turn, is you will spawn ghosts on any empty spots. The second thing you're going to do is everybody is going to roll their dice. And then you will have your abilities that you'll be able to do during the game. Now, there's different sizes of these dice. Usually the PKE meter is going to let you buy equipment. This will allow you to move down the chaos, so you can reduce that. Trap will be a signal that you need. The streamer will be something you need. And then the car, the Ecto 1, will allow you to move across the board. So let's say you roll this. What you can do on a turn, you can use all of your dice. If you're in the same location as somebody, you can give a dice to somebody else, and then they'll have it. But if you want to use the car, you can move to a location. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have these ghosts here. They're all going to have a power at the bottom, but you have to put symbols down on them. So this one requires stream, and this one requires a trap. Now, it also requires a green stream, which I can't put on there unless I have a green die. Or if Winston moves there, say he moved one of his to move there, he could put a streamer down there, and this person would be captured at the end of the turn. So you're going to be utilizing your dice to move around. Now, there are equipment cards that you can purchase. They usually cost PKE meters. You can see here, this one costs 2. Once per activation, you may use 1 Ecto as if it were a stream or a trap. So that's pretty nice. And these will allow you to break the rules as you go through. At the end of the turn, anybody who had, let's say something like this was done, anybody who was captured, their dice would go back to the person. This would come off. Your capture would go up towards one of the 15. Any place where there isn't a Ghostbuster, so let's say Ghostbusters are like this, you would add 1, 2, 3 chaos, 1, 2, 3. And then some of these says cause 2 chaos per round and destroy all equipment cards currently placed in burrows. So there's any equipment cards that come out, but it'll do additional 2 chaos. Remember, if you get to 20, you lose. You'd make sure all that is done. Then, at the beginning of the turn, you would refill this, like I've stated before, and another round will occur. Now, if you ever get all the way up here, this tile will come off. It says, immediately discard all PKE rolled this round. Some needs to be positive, some will be negative. Otherwise, that's pretty much how you're going to play the game. You're going to be utilizing your dice. You can see it tells you right here what most of them do. Any point you can't move, you have any 2 dice, you can use that to move a location if you didn't have any Ecto 1s. Or if you don't like the dice that you have, you can always give up 1 dice. You're not going to be able to use it this round. You get it back next round, and then you can do a reroll of the dice that you have. And that is a quick overview of how you play Ghostbusters Blackout. Who should buy this game? Anybody who's a Ghostbusters fan. In my estimation, this is probably or is the best Ghostbuster game on the market. You are playing cooperative. The Ghostbusters are working together. The IP and the mechanisms work great together. This is one that you're going to love. Now, if you don't like Ghostbusters, you're still going to get a fun cooperative game about capturing ghosts. And if you don't know who all the characters are, and I'll be quite frankly, I don't know who all the characters are in this game either. I don't know the lore or the universe. I just know the movies. And I know the 4 Ghostbusters, the other 4 I don't, but I'll choose some of the other ones just for their powers, or I want to shake things up. And that's a sign of a good game to me. I never felt like characters were included just to include them to balance out the female-male. Instead, I felt like these are interesting characters being added in with unique powers that work for the game. And that's a great aspect to this one. So this is one that you probably have missed out on. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. This is one of my favorite cooperative games, and I'm not a huge fan of the IP, although I like the IP, and I still really, really, really enjoy this game. I think that will go for a lot of people. So this one is a keeper for us.